The alien fleet moved into tight formation. Their ships were powerful. Their weapons were ready. Their shields were strong, but the space around them was empty. Too empty. Captain Zorath stood in silence, watching the screens. His sharp eyes searched for movement, for signals, for anything. But there was almost nothing. Only the cold darkness. And a few broken readings. "Scan again," he ordered. "We are scanning, Captain," the officer replied. "But we are not finding them." Zorath did not like this. An enemy that could not be seen was the most dangerous kind. "They are still here," he said quietly. "I can feel it." The crew shifted uneasily. Moments passed. Then suddenly, a warning light flashed. "Small impact on the outer hull," an officer reported. "From where?" Zorath asked. I don't know." Zorath turned quickly. "How can you not know?" There was no incoming signal, no detected weapon. The room went silent again. Another impact followed, then another. Each one was small, but each one hit a different part of the ship. Not random, precise. "They are testing us," Zorath said. "But how are they firing without being seen?" Another officer asked. Zorath had no clear answer, but he was starting to understand one thing. Humans were not fighting like other species. They were not showing their strength. They were hiding it. "Stay alert," Zorath said. "They want us confused." More time passed. Then, another alarm. "Captain, our long-range communication is unstable." Zorath looked at the systems. Signals were breaking. Messages were delayed. "Fix it," he said. "We are trying, but something is blocking us." Zorath's mind worked fast. "They are attacking our systems without direct contact," he said. "That is not possible," one officer replied. Zorath looked at him. "It is happening." The truth was clear. Humans were not just attacking with weapons. They were attacking with intelligence. Another system failed. Navigation flickered. Weapon targeting slowed down. The alien fleet, once perfect and strong, was slowly losing control. "Captain," the officer said carefully, "we are being weakened." Zorath nodded slowly. "Yes," he said, "and they are doing it step by step." He looked at the main screen again. Still nothing. No human ships, no clear enemy, only darkness. But then, something changed. A small signal appeared, very weak. "Captain, we have something," the officer said. "Show it." A single human ship appeared on the screen. Far away. Still, almost waiting. Zorath leaned forward. "Lock onto it." The weapons officer tried. "I have a lock, but it's unstable." "Fire," Zorath ordered. The alien ship released a powerful energy blast. It moved fast across space and hit nothing. The human ship was gone, vanished. The crew stared in disbelief. "It disappeared," the officer said. "No," Zorath replied slowly. "It moved." "But we didn't detect any movement." Zorath's voice became colder. "That is the problem." Before anyone could react, another attack hit. This time stronger. The ship shook hard. Lights flickered. Damage to internal systems. Someone shouted. Zorath grabbed the control panel to steady himself. Where did that come from? No signal. No warning. The attacks continued. Small groups. Quick strikes. Always from different directions. Never from the same place twice. They are everywhere, one officer said in fear. "No," Zorath replied. "They want us to think that." He looked at the data. Patterns. There were patterns. The attacks were not random. "They are guiding us," he said. "What do you mean?" the officer asked. Zorath pointed to the screen. "Every attack is pushing us into a position." The crew looked closer. He was right. The alien fleet was slowly being forced into a tighter space, without realizing it. "They are controlling the battlefield," Zorath said. A deep silence filled the room. No one had ever done this to them before. Zorath made a quick decision. All ships change direction, break formation. The fleet moved. But as they did, more attacks came. Stronger now, faster. They predicted our movement, the officer shouted. Zorath felt it clearly now. Humans were not reacting. They were planning ahead. Every move, every action, already expected. They are thinking faster than us, Zorath admitted. The words felt heavy, but true. Another system failed. Then, another. The ship was still strong, but not for long. Captain, we are losing control of outer defense systems. Zorath looked at the screen again. Then, something new appeared. Multiple signals. All around them. Human ships. Dozens of them. But they were not attacking, they were just watching, waiting. Why are they not finishing us? One officer asked. Zorath's answer came slowly. Because they don't need to rush. The truth was clear now. Humans were not trying to win fast. They were making sure they could not lose. Another signal appeared on the screen, a message. Simple, direct, we see you. The word sent a chill through the room. Zorath felt something he had never felt before in battle. Not anger, not pride, but pressure. Heavy pressure. They were being watched, studied, controlled. He looked at his crew. For the first time he saw doubt in their eyes, and he understood why. Because this enemy, did not fight like any enemy before. Humans were patient. Humans were smart, and most dangerous of all, humans were always learning. Zorath turned back to the screen. This is not over, he said. But deep inside, he knew something had already changed. They were no longer in control. The battle had shifted, and the humans were now leading it. The alien ship remained still above the blue planet. Inside, no one spoke for several seconds. The signal from the humans stayed open, silent, waiting. Captain Zorath stared at the screen. His mind was racing, but his face stayed calm. They detected us too fast, he said quietly. The officers nodded. This was not normal. No young species should have this level of awareness. Open a response channel, Zorath ordered. The communication officer hesitated for a moment, then followed the command. Pure, system connected. A soft sound filled the room, then a human voice spoke. Clear, calm, controlled. You are in restricted space. Identify yourselves immediately. The crew looked at each other in shock. The tone was not afraid, not confused. It was firm, like they were used to giving orders. Zorath stepped forward. This is Captain Zorath of the Galactic Alliance, he said. We come in peace. We request permission to observe your world. There was a short pause. The humans did not reply right away. That silence felt heavy. Then the voice returned. You entered without permission. That is not peaceful. Zorath felt a small spark of irritation. No species had ever spoken to him like this. We were unaware of your presence, he replied. There is no need for hostility. Another pause, then a different voice joined. This one sounded sharper. We're not supposed to find us. The words echoed in the control room. Zorath's eyes narrowed. What does that mean? He asked. But there was no answer. Instead, something else happened. A sudden flash appeared on the main screen. A bright light passed close to their ship. Then, impact. The entire vessel shook. Alarm screamed across the room. What was that? One officer shouted. Damage report, Zorath commanded. Minor hull damage, another officer said quickly. No critical systems hit. Zorath turned to the screen. Another message appeared. We warned you. The crew was silent. That was not an attack meant to destroy. It was a warning shot. Perfectly aimed, perfectly controlled. Zorath felt something new again. Not fear, but concern. Shields up, he ordered. The ship's defenses activated instantly. Energy fields surrounded the vessel. Zorath looked at his weapons officer. Lock onto their positions. The officer obeyed. But then his expression changed. Captain, we can't get a clear lock. Why not? They keep moving. Too fast. And some signals are disappearing. Zorath stepped closer. What do you mean disappearing? They are there 1 second, and gone the next. That was impossible. Even advanced ships could not vanish completely from their sensors. Focus all scanners, Zorath said. The crew worked quickly. More data appeared. More confusion followed. Human ships were launching from the planet. Dozens of them. Small, fast, organized. They moved in perfect patterns, not random, not chaotic. This was a trained force. Zorath watched carefully. They are preparing for battle, he said. But why? One officer asked. We said we came in peace. Zorath did not answer, because he was starting to understand. To humans, this was not a meeting. This was an invasion. Another message came through. This time it was stronger, more direct. Leave our system now. This is your final warning. The words were cold, clear. No fear at all. Zorath clenched his fist. No one had ever ordered him to leave. Not like this. Not without respect. We are not leaving, he said firmly. The room went quiet. Some officers looked unsure, but no one spoke against him. Zorath stood tall. Prepare weapons, he commanded. The alien ship powered up. Energy built inside its systems. The humans did not wait. Suddenly, multiple signals rushed toward them. Fast, too fast, incoming. The defense officer shouted. The first attack hit their shields, then another, and another. Small impacts, but precise. Each one hit a different point. Testing, learning. Zorath watched closely. They are studying our defenses, he said. The attacks stopped as quickly as they started. Silence again. Then something strange happened. The human ships pulled back. They did not continue the attack. They spread out and disappeared. What are they doing? One officer asked. Zorath did not like this. They are not fighting us directly, he said. Then what are they doing? Zorath's voice became low. They are thinking. Moments passed, nothing happened. Too quiet, too still. Then, another alarm. Captain, we are losing signal in the lower sensor grid. What? Something is interfering with our systems. Zorath looked at the screens. Parts of their system were going dark. Slowly, one by one. No explosions, no visible attacks. Just silence. The humans were not using brute force. They were using something smarter, something hidden. They are inside our range, the officer said, but we can't see them. Zorath felt the tension grow. This was not how battles worked, not like this. The enemy should be visible, predictable, but humans were neither. Another system failed, then another. Zorath made a decision. Send all nearby ships into formation, he ordered. We will force them out. The alien fleet moved together, strong, organized, powerful, but still, no humans in sight, only silence. Then, suddenly, a single human ship appeared right in front of them, close, too close. Before anyone could react, it fired. A direct hit, not at their weapons, not at their shields, but at their communication array. System went down instantly. The room filled with warning sounds. Zorath stared at the screen. That was not random. That was a message. Clear one. The humans were not just defending, they were controlling the fight. Zorath slowly realized something important. They had made a mistake, a serious one. They thought humans were weak, unprepared, easy to defeat. But now, they were facing something very different, something patient, something smart, something dangerous. Zorath took a deep breath. This is no longer a simple mission, he said. No one disagreed, because now everyone understood the truth. This was not first contact anymore. This was war, and the humans were ready for it. Far away from busy star systems, deep in the cold and silent part of space, a large alien ship moved slowly through the darkness. It was not in a hurry. It did not need to be. The ship belonged to a powerful galactic alliance. This alliance had explored thousands of worlds. They had seen strange life forms, dangerous planets, and advanced civilizations. To them, the universe held very few surprises anymore, or so they believed. Inside the ship, everything was calm. Lights were dim, machines hummed quietly. The crew worked with focus and discipline. They were trained to expect nothing unusual in this empty region of space. But then, something changed. A low sound came from the main control panel. One of the officers looked at the screen. At first he thought it was just an error. A small signal appeared, weak and unclear. It flickered again, then stayed. "Captain," the officer said slowly, "we are picking up something." Captain Zorath turned his head. He was a tall and strong being, covered in dark armor-like skin. His sharp eyes studied the screen. "In this region?" he asked. "Yes, Captain," the officer replied. "But it does not make sense." Zorath stepped closer. The signal was not random. It had structure. A pattern. "Enhance it," Zorath ordered. The crew worked quickly. The signal became clearer. It was coming from a nearby star system. Zorath felt something strange. This area of space was marked as empty in all known records. No life, no activity, nothing. And yet, there it was. "Move closer," he said. The ship changed direction and slowly moved toward the signal. As they approached the system, more strange readings appeared. Small energy bursts, faint transmissions, broken signals that came and went. It was as if something was trying to hide. "Scan all planets," Zorath commanded. Moments passed, then the results came in. "There is one planet with life," the officer said. His voice was no longer calm. "Oxygen atmosphere. Water. Stable climate." Zorath looked closer. On the screen, a blue planet appeared. Beautiful. Quiet. Peaceful. But something about it felt wrong. "Run a deeper scan," Zorath said. The machines began to work harder. Data filled the screen, life signs, structures, movement. Then suddenly, the system froze. All screens went dark for a moment. The crew looked around in confusion. "What just happened?" one of them asked. Before anyone could answer, the screens came back on. But now, something new appeared. Symbols unknown, unreadable, not part of their system. "Captain," the officer whispered, "we are not alone here." Zorath's eyes narrowed. "Identify the symbols." "We are trying, but they keep changing." The symbols moved across the screen, forming patterns that no one understood. Then, just as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished. Silence filled the room. Zorath felt it again. That strange feeling. This was not normal. "Continue scanning," he said firmly. The crew obeyed, but now there was tension in the air. Minutes passed. Then the data returned. "This planet, it has a dominant species," the officer said. "Show me." An image appeared. Zorath stared at it. His eyes widened slightly. "That is not possible," he said. The image showed a human, a simple being. No armor, no natural weapons, just standing on the surface of the planet. Zorath turned to the records. "Officer, check the archives," he ordered. The officer searched quickly. Old files opened, ancient reports. Then he found it. "Captain, this species is listed here." Zorath stepped closer. "Read it." The officer hesitated. "This species is called humans." A long silence followed. Zorath remembered the name. Humans. Weak species. Divided. Emotional. Unstable. According to old records, they were not important. Not a threat. Not worth attention. Some reports even suggested they would destroy themselves. "So how are they still alive?" Zorath asked quietly. No one had an answer. The crew looked uneasy. Something did not feel right. "Scan their technology level," Zorath said. The results came quickly. "Captain, their technology is advanced." Zorath frowned. "How advanced?" The officer took a deep breath. "More advanced than expected. Much more." Zorath looked back at the blue planet. This was wrong. Everything about this was wrong. Then suddenly, an alarm sounded. Loud, sharp, urgent. The entire ship reacted. What is happening? Zorath demanded. The officer's hands moved quickly across the controls. Captain, we have been detected. Zorath froze. That is not possible. No, Captain, they have locked onto us. The main screen changed. A small object appeared. Near their ship, a satellite, simple in design but active, watching them, tracking them. How did they find us? One crew member said in fear. No one answered. Then a signal came through. Clear, strong, direct, not broken, not weak. Perfect. The crew stared at the screen as the signal opened. Zorath's heart beat slower, but heavier. This was no accident. This was not luck. This was something else. Something planned, something ready. The signal did not speak. It simply stayed there, waiting. Zorath realized something important in that moment. They were not the hunters anymore. They had become the ones being watched. He slowly straightened his posture. Prepare for contact, he said. But deep inside, for the first time in many cycles, Captain Zorath felt uncertainty. Because this time, they had found something they did not understand. And far below, on that quiet blue planet, humans were already watching them back.